Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jimmie Williams again with another fantastic module to share with you. We're wrapping up pretty soon here. If you made it to module number 10, you're doing very, very good. You're getting a ton of information into your system, into your psyche, into your mindset, okay? And one of the things I'm going to challenge you to do is take a break, go back, and listen to them again, okay? Again, listen to them a second and third time if you have to. A lot of us learn by duplication, by repetition, hearing it over and over again. In fact, it's a rule of thumb, and it reigns true, that the more you listen to something, it tends to become a part of your subconscious mind. In fact, that's why teachers, depending on what school you go to, what type of teacher they are, they're instructed to go over things sometimes more than one time, several times, until the students get it. Now, some people learn at different paces and different stages of their life. They tend to grasp the information quicker, but duplication and repetition, they're taught to do that because they found out doing a study that people learn more through repetition. That's just how the brain works. So I'm going to challenge you to go back through all of the modules and write down these things and take down notes, because this information that I'm giving you could take your business, anything that you're doing, from one level to the next. It can literally take you from $5,000 to $10,000 a month to $40,000 to $50,000 per month. And if you want to be what we call a legitimate millionaire on paper, you need to reach that plateau of $80,000 to $90,000 a month. So at the end of the year, your net profits is over $1 million per year. You'll be a legitimate, residual income millionaire. Okay, and that's where I want you guys to be. Some of you want to make, 8 digits a year, and that's okay. There's no limit to how much money you can make. But here in module number 10, now that we're here, let's get right into this. I think it's going to be critical that you understand the power of virtual wholesaling, okay? Now, module number 9 that you just listened to, if you're following in sequence, I talked about the power of software, which is paradigm shift part 1, okay? Because software is definitely a paradigm shift, guys. I urge you to go back and listen to it again and get their understanding behind what I mean when I say paradigm shift. It's all there. I talk a lot about that. And this is part 2 of it, because you really can't understand the power of this shift that's being created without both parts of it. So the first part is the software. And the software, the ability, when you have the software, you have the ability to have access to things and do things, or have that software work for you like an employee. So you can duplicate your time, your efforts, and your productivity. So the second side of that is actually understanding the power of virtual wholesaling. And when you combine those two together, you have a driving force that's like an atomic bomb in your business, okay? So there's some other things about virtual wholesaling I want to talk about, because some of you guys don't have the finances right now, especially if you're a newbie. You don't really have the money to go out and buy all these softwares and have them working on autopilot for you. So there's some other methods I'm going to go over, some of the things that I actually did myself that actually work. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't do, guys. I often tell other mentors and people that I talk to who aspire to teach and train others, try to stay away from things that you're not doing. There's no saying in the Bible, Yahushua HaMashiach, Jesus himself said this. He said, them that do and teach the kingdom are going to be the greatest in the kingdom. But if you teach something that you're not doing, he says you'll be the least in the kingdom. So my point is, I want my words to have more weight. I want them to stick to you more. So that's why I stay away from things that I haven't really experienced myself and haven't done. When I talk about multifamily, all those experiences you guys hear me talk about, those are situations that I've been in. I don't just talk about them. So I'm going to tell you what works, what I found to work when you're dealing with virtual wholesaling, and what did not work. I'm going to tell you things that you can apply today that's going to help you, because virtual wholesaling is literally wholesaling from your computer. That's what it is. It's the ability to tap into, by using the World Wide Web and software, to tap into the entire nation and buy and sell real estate, or buy or wholesale real estate from your computer, and tap into all of the avenues that are available to you. All right. If you continue to do the old way of doing it by driving for dollars and things like that, you'll make some money. I won't tell you won't make any money, but you have the ability to scale. In other words, take your business from again, 1,000 to 10 to 20,000 to 50,000 a month, much faster. You can have more productivity, more deals done, and all of that simultaneously, almost overnight, when you apply this method. So let's get right into this, okay? So in the first part, again, I talked about what the paradigm shift is and how that works. All right. And I asked, you guys have been asking me this question: why is it so important to transition to virtual wholesaling? And here's the answer: you can accomplish more. Okay, you really can. So much more from your laptop or phone with the right technology and the right with a fraction of time. I said that wrong. Let me read that again. You can accomplish so much more from your laptop or phone with the right technology in a fraction of the amount of time it would take for you to, to physically go look at the property, okay, and structure the deal. Now, what I mean by that is a lot of you guys are believing in, you guys still do the driving for dollars. You still believe in going out hunting those properties the traditional way and having somebody go and look at the property. And those things are very important. I didn't say they weren't. But with the technology today, there's softwares that do that stuff for you online. That can, nothing can replace someone going to look and physically see something. Go and look at the roof and see that the roof is not, the roof is not up to par. That's totally different. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing to do that. But what I am saying is when you understand how to go online and structure your business where, if you can't be there, then you can have someone else do it for you. That's important too. Or there's certain softwares that can tell you and show you real time what's going on with the property, all right, without actually having to be there. You have certain softwares that can assess the property without you actually having to be there. And these are the things that I'm talking about. But for the sake of time, I don't want to get off track here. As I was saying, there are ways, if you can't afford the software, there's certain things that you can do. And one of the things that I've applied myself, because I didn't have the money, I didn't always have the money to go out and physically, go and try to be at these properties myself and go there. I worked with other people. I went on Craigslist. I placed certain ads on Craigslist. And I was looking for people who were like handyman, pardon me. So if it was in the city of Dallas, I would put out a certain ad and I would look for someone who was a handyman in that area. All right. And what I would do is I would say, hey, listen, I'm a wholesaler. I'm in Florida because I was in Florida at the time. And I like these properties here in Dallas. I want a joint venture with you because you're a handyman. I want you to go and analyze the deal and see if it's a good deal. And if it is, I'm willing to hire you to come in and, once we get the deal done, I'll hire you as the handyman. If you go and assess the value because they're saying it needs $20,000 worth of work, I will work with you and have you do the work. I'll pay you, and then I'll turn around, I'll put it on the market and flip it. And in some instances, what I did with them is I let them do that so they can get paid. They were motivated to go, and they're in Dallas and I'm in Florida. They were motivated to go look at that property, guys, and so they can get the business. And they would tell me, hey, listen, well, the numbers are correct. The numbers is correct. This property needs $20,000 worth of work. It needs a new roof, and blah, blah, blah. And they would let me know what it needed. And I would hire them because I trusted them. That's how you can virtually, that's the word virtual, it's without having to actually be there. You're there, but not being there. This person has a vested interest in the deal. Although you're in Florida, you're still there because you've partnered with someone who's able to be there. That's my point. Okay. And so even in some instances, we know the person would fix up the property, we put it on the market, and sometimes we split the profits. If he could find a buyer for it, we split the profits that way as well. If I did all the work and, once he fixed it up and he just let me sell it, then I wouldn't split the profits with him in the end. But if the person did the work, and I paid them, and then I couldn't sell it and I got their help, I would pay them an additional fee for helping me find a buyer. Okay, that's one of the things that you could do. You just go to Craigslist, and you can type in the word wholesaler. Okay, go to any city and type in the word wholesaler. That's what I did. Now, in this instance here, I typed in the word wholesaler. Here's another little method I'm going to throw in there for you guys who want to do virtual wholesaling. You're going to sometimes it's a very wise idea. I'm going to tell you something, right? Because a lot of people don't believe this. It's a very wise idea to network as a wholesaler with as many real estate or wholesaler-friendly investors, wholesaler-friendly realtors as possible, real estate brokers, those guys, those men and women, because they're going to help your business grow. So I typed this word in here. Let's just open this up. Let me show you what I found here. Guess who I found? I found a realtor who's looking for wholesalers. Now this particular area, this is Chicago, Illinois, and one of my students, her name is Lisa. Lisa's in Chicago. She's a fantastic student. She's a fantastic mentee, and she's going to be a mentor, a great mentor herself one day. And she's looking for property and looking for good off-market deals in Chicago. And so, Lisa, when you get to this module, stick a pen right here, okay? And figure this out. I want you to get this. If you look here, you'll see that this guy, this is what he says about himself, okay? Hello, fellow wholesalers. Basically, he's saying, I'm a wholesaler too. That's what he's saying, right? By law, I have to disclose that I am a licensed real estate broker in the state of Illinois. Now that I've got that out of the way, that's what he said. Let's get down to the real reason why I'm here. Through networking and selling properties over the years, we, meaning his partners and himself, have built up a nice sized database of cash buyers. That's very important, guys. So he has the buyers. He's in another city. Let's say, because now I'm in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. But if I was looking for somebody to network with in Chicago, he will be the perfect person. He's a realtor. He can help me with comps. He knows all the laws that govern that area. And he's a wholesaler. So this is the perfect guy to talk to. And we would like to extend our database to those that may want to partner with us to get your property sold. So he's basically looking for property. He's looking for inventory himself. He has the buyers. All I need to do is provide the inventory. Again, this is virtual wholesaling, guys. You don't have to be there. Okay? Now, again, software is number one because software can do things that even Craigslist can't do. Let's be honest. I mean, there's certain software for Craigslist too that goes and scrapes certain information off of Craigslist. And I'll go over that in just a moment. But my point here is a guy like this can catapult your business literally overnight. He's done the legwork. And the biggest thing you get when you connect with these guys is you get the credibility. Write that down. You get the credibility that you didn't have on your own. And you get the expertise and the experience. Okay? Credibility, experience, and some of the longevity that he's had. You're connecting with that, all of that together. So if you're a newbie, you literally go from just being someone who has no experience. And then when you add a guy like this, a man or woman like this on your team who has all this experience over the years, guess what that does to you? You combine yourself with that. You leverage the power of their experience. That's why mentors and other people, other colleagues who can do things that you can't do, it's so important. So now all of a sudden, if I'm in Florida or Atlanta, I've expanded my business all the way to Chicago. So what do I need to do now? I need to find a way to get him good properties, all right? Here's what he says. We would like to extend our database to those that may want to partner with us to get your property sold. I just read that. He says, how does it work? Great question. Here's the breakdown. I'm just going to read part of this. We will not add a fee on top, okay? We'll bring you the buyer, and we'll split the profits 50-50, which is great. So if you have a property, you've done the ARV, you've done your due diligence on it, and I told you guys, if it's a wholesaler deal you're trying to work out, you need to make sure that you're thinking about the end buyer, all right? So this guy says, I'll put your property out there. I won't add anything to it. Be sure to apply the 60-30 rule in that case. All right, so let me give you another scenario. I always use the $100,000 scenario for a property. The property's worth $100 grand. You need to try to get that property under contract for about $50,000 to $60,000. So you can assign it for no more than, 60 or no more than 70 to the end buyer, because the end buyer, is going to look at his money and go, well, if I put 70 into it, I need to make, if the ARV is 100,000, I want to put a total of 70,000 into it, including, all the fees and all that to fix it up, and make myself $30,000 on that deal, or it's not a good deal for me. So I recommend getting the property under contract for like 50. And what you can do is have him assign it. You can have him list it with the assignment fee on it already. So if you put it under contract for 50, you'll have this guy, sell it to his buyers for 60. That's assuming that it needs maybe $10,000 worth of work. So if he assigns it to his buyers for 60, the end buyer is happy because all they have to do is put 10,000 into it, and they can turn around and flip it and sell it for 100 grand and make that 30,000. Well, you guys just made $10,000 together. So basically, you pay him half of that. So you guys walk away together with $5,000 a piece. Everybody's happy. That's why these guys are powerful. Okay. I'll read this right here so you can look at this. He says they'll do their own due diligence as to how our buyers purchase, and sometimes your price may be too high, and we would ask you to go back and renegotiate the offer with the seller. Okay, so that's what they want you to do. We ask for a 5-day exclusive option to send out to our buyers. And after the 5 days are up, if we have not acquired a buyer, that option is void. Okay, so that's what I want you to see. So basically they're saying, give us a 5-day grace period to get in front of our buyers, which is great. All right. And of course, they said they have no problem signing the NDNC, which is very, very important. Okay, that's a non-circumvent, non-disclosure, or non-compete, non-disclosure. It just gives you, the ability to be able to make sure that they don't have the right to come in and take your property or go around you and go to the seller. That's very important information. But guys like this can catapult your virtual wholesaling business. Okay, another method that you can use, because time is far-fetched here, and I want to make sure you get what I'm saying, is email marketing. Okay, now a lot of you guys, you don't really understand how to do that. I mean, you capture leads, and a lot of you still. I'm going to tell you something, guys. If you're still using a Gmail account, you don't take your business seriously just yet. You need to invest. There's ways to do it. You can go to GoDaddy. There's certain companies that can do it. Get yourself, your name at, yourbusiness.com. You need to get rid of Gmail, because Gmail, it's very, very simplistic. Everybody's doing it. And people who are really in the business to make money understand that when they come across other people that are not doing it, they don't take them seriously. I've had this happen to me. Now, you may have a fantastic product. You may have a fantastic service. You may have good off-market deals. But the minute that your credibility gets challenged in the beginning, because i.e. you don't have a website, i.e. you don't have a good valid email, i.e. you don't have a good phone number with a good voicemail on it, you're using Google Voice, the credibility goes down. That doesn't help you guys at all. So you need to really think about that when you're doing this. So that's one of the first things I'm going to recommend. Get yourself, a legitimate email. It's like $5 or $10 a month. You can do that and get yourself a real email. And basically, you can connect it to your Gmail account, but it doesn't say Gmail, at gmail.com. It says, your name or whatever, and then it says at, yourname.com or something like that, whatever your website's going to be or what it is. That's how you do that. It's very, very easy to do. So now that I got that out of the way, let me just go over this for a minute. So you need to figure out a way to build a list. Okay, that's another way to virtual wholesale, because if I have a list of 1,000 people or 500 people, they're buyers, and I build that list with a click of a button. I'm going to slap my fingers now. With a click of a button, I get my offer, or I get what I'm doing in front of 500 people, 1,000 people. In this case, this is one of my lists here. This is a real list. Guys, I have 1,949 people on this list, okay? This is one list, and I highly recommend for newbies going to MailChimp.com. Let me open up a new link here, MailChimp, so you can see what it looks like, okay? MailChimp.com, all right? Because why? It's free, MailChimp.com, MailChimp.com, okay? I can't say that enough. There's other ones too, GetResponse and Aweber and a few others, Constant Contact. They're all good, but some of them, they come with like a free trial and then you have to pay, all right? But I would go with MailChimp.com right now, because for you newbies, what you can do is you can set up an account and you can build your list to 2,000 people. I think it's 2,000 or less. You can blast it out 4 times per month, like once a week. So you can blast out 2,000 emails per week, which is you can reach those people. You can reach up to 8,000 people per month. So, well, I said that wrong. 2,000 people, you can contact them 4 times per month, which is 8,000 emails you get to blast out. What can I do for your revenue? What can I do for your credibility? What can I do for your website? What can I do for you? You inspiring people to follow you. Because remember, if you're building a following, you're becoming a leader in this industry. People need to hear from you more than just one time. Okay, now if you're watching all the modules, I talk about how to build a list. I talk about that. I talk about how to cultivate the list, how to get these people to believe in you, to believe in your product, your service. They're going to watch you first before they believe in what you're doing. And you being consistent with them is going to allow you to scale. I talk about, the product must, whenever you're selling and whatever it is, it must be scalable. You must be able to do it quickly, and it must be consistent. Consistency is the key, okay? And so when you do that, these people here, they've been with me for quite a while. I probably lose, to be honest, sometimes 8 or 9 people unsubscribe per week, but I have about 15 or 20 that actually come on board per week. So I'm still not losing anything. You're gonna have some people that just for whatever reason they don't want to stay with you, right? But then you have 15, 20, or 30 people, if you're advertising and marketing correctly, come on board each week. So you really don't lose those people at all. And they're not just people. They're not just, they're not just a number. These are your subscribers. These are your fans. These are your business associates. All right. So when you build that list, this is what I'm going to show you. This is powerful, guys. Okay. And this is an REO list that I sent out to 2,000 people. These are the results I got. 540 people opened it. Now, here's another number to remember. If this number is less than 10%, your open rate, you have a bad list. So I'm going to caution all of you, when you're doing virtual wholesaling, you're just trying to buy your way into something and you don't have really good software, don't go buy these lists that you can't vouch for the list. I'm talking about, certain properties that you get from certain companies that say, oh, we're going to give you, if you pay this certain fee per month, we'll send you all these lists. Okay? Property lists, email lists, and all that, and they're all outdated. The phone numbers are outdated. I have someone, it's confidential, I'm not going to say their name, but man, they were very disappointed. This is a student of mine. I got on the phone with them with some of they had a list, and almost 80% of the names on the list, the names were supposed to be correct, but the phone numbers were off. And I would get disconnected number. That person doesn't live here anymore and all that. The list was outdated. So I'm saying be careful when you start buying lists. You got to create your own list, and there's a couple ways to do it, and I'm going to go over that in just a second. So total opens, look at this, guys. 713 people viewed it. This is the regular opens. Some people did, they opened over and over again. All right, and I had 51 clicks, but look at this, just so you can see how this works, all right? Yeah, one person opened it 18 times, 12 times, 10 times. I mean, this is what I want you to see. There's the power in duplication and getting people to trust what you're doing, okay? All right? And I have so many other lists. Now, I built this list, believe it or not, for some of you who don't have the money to go and pay for paid advertising, I built this list in about 3 months through Facebook groups, all right? You heard that right, free Facebook advertising. So again, for you newbies, you're a little intimidated with buying software and everything. There are ways to do it. Now, the only caution I'm going to give you about Facebook, and I want you to get this very, very carefully. Facebook has a lot of posers and fakers. They have a lot of people that say they can do things and they really can't do them. All right. And so you have to be careful. So you have so many people trying to do what you're doing and posing like they're the real buyer or they're the real seller, and they're not being honest. That's what I don't like about that platform. So if you're in all these Facebook groups, you're looking for real buyers, you're looking for real sellers, I'm going to tell you, you can waste a lot of time. So this particular list that I built, they're subscribers and they know me, but the majority of them are not really legit buyers. I would say that some of them are just potential buyers, because I haven't really made a ton of money with them. They haven't really bought me any. I've had a few people that I did business with, but my point is I built a list of 2,000. And when I got that list to that peak, I was able to reach them with the click of a button, with the click of a switch. So I posted that ad. I posted this REO list out there, and I sent the report out, and I got this response within 24 hours. Okay, I had 700 people viewed it in 24 hours. How long would it take you to talk to that many people? It could take several days. You'd have to hire like 7 people and pay and have them reach 100 people for that day to reach 700 people, or you have to make 700 calls yourself, right? Or 700 personal emails. But back to Facebook. So what you would do is you come in here, put a little ad in here. You would say something like, looking for, this always happens, guys. I'm using my new computer here. My fingers are all over the place. Looking for cash buyers, okay? Okay, I'm writing a little slow here. For off-market deals. REOs nationwide, because basically, depending on your list, and I recommend if you don't have an REO list, you can contact me, guys. If you can get a hold of me, you will go to my website here. Let me just take a pause here. Okay, and email me here and say, Jimmie, I need a list. I have some people that are interested, and I'd be willing to work with you. All right, but for the sake of time, let's get back to this. REO list, REOs nationwide, must have POF. You can say something like no daisy chains, okay? And that's it, okay? And then you do, you know, and this is how I built my list. So I would post things like this, and there were times where I got like 800 people. Not kidding. I had like 800 people that responded to some of my ads, all right? And out of those 800 people, I had about 400 or 500 people on that list that gave me their emails, all right? They dropped their emails, and that's how I did it over 3 or 4 months. You know, there's ways to do it. Guys, you can take the same method, okay? Copy this and put it on Craigslist. I was doing something else here earlier. Oh, you could just use something like this here. You can find buyers that way, okay? That's it. That's what you would do, all right? And you'll be amazed at how fast you can build this list. I did it in like 3 or 4 months, all right? And then you sift through that list when you start sending things out to them. You know, you can use this list to do several things. You can sell, as you can see here, I was selling the Bird Dog Bot ClickBait product, which is a very good product, by the way. It's fantastic. You know, it helps people find properties with a click of a button. It's very, very good. But you can do whatever you want to do with the list as long as you cultivate it and it's real estate related and you build rapport with your audience. And I'm doing this virtually from my laptop. All right. Now, the last thing I want to show you is I was talking about certain softwares that you can get that work for you. When you guys are ready and your budget's ready, I'm going to recommend getting this software. It's called the Autopilot Motivated Sellers Finder software. Okay. It goes on Craigslist, and I'm going to show you this. This is me here talking. I'm not going to let you hear what I say, what I'm talking about here, because we're running out of time. But as you can see, it goes in there and it shows you how I found it, how this software goes in, and it finds people who are on Craigslist looking to sell their properties. And when they post something, you get an email. You get an email notification of them. You know, you get to see what property it is that they're selling. So you can call them and put in an offer. All right. These are for guys who are ready. You're ready to invest and you're looking. You don't want to be working so hard. You want to work smart. You put the software to work for you. And the software developer of this, I know this guy personally. You know, he sets it up for you. You pick out 5 keywords in 2 cities, and you're just waiting for the leads to come in. You'll probably get like 5 leads a week, 20 leads a month. You know, something like 20 leads a month, and most of them are pretty good. All right. But that's the power of software. Here's another software here that I use and that I promote. It's called the Privy software, okay? Get Privy software on demand. It's really, really good. As you can see, it pulls great comps and it shows you what's selling in certain cities. So this is Tampa, and you get to see right where the investors are buying property. Revolutionary software, guys, all right? And this is a little more advanced when you guys are ready to invest. But the methods, the whole purpose of me showing you this particular video is how you can do it if you don't have the money. And those methods, let's review again, would be going on Craigslist, typing in wholesalers, and you find guys like this to work with in a different city who's willing to joint venture with you, real estate brokers, you know, all of them. There's so many different people that do what we do, right? So, and the second thing that I recommend that you do is email marketing. Those are the top 2 ways to do it right now, right? You can scale your business much faster, and you go get your leads through Craigslist, like I just said, posting little ads like this, posting on free Facebook groups just like this, and you'll be amazed in 2 or 3 months how many leads you can generate. You can generate, and they can be in the thousands. So I want to encourage you to stay focused. Don't give up. Attack. You know, live your dreams with aggression. Okay, be aggressive at all times. All right. Scale your business. Hold 1 second. Scale your business with everything that's in you, and you'll make it. I promise. All right. The thing I want you to remember in closing today is that you can scale your business with this method and be ahead of the competition. That's very, very true if you do everything I just told you in this, you know, in this video series so far. But don't be discouraged right now if you cannot go out again and get the software. Don't worry about that. Do everything you can do on the free side. If you're going to place ads, you know, some of you, you know, you guys, I actually told you, okay, I'm going to help you place these ads. I'm going to show you how to place them. You have to place them a lot more than the average. Certain ads that I tell you to place, you got to place them maybe 100 times a week. Because remember, the free methods are going to take you a little bit longer to get the consistency that you want. Once you start paying for advertising, you can place an ad and pay and have it blasted in all 50 states and all that when you have the money to do that. But right now, don't worry about it. Okay? Stay encouraged, stay focused, all right? And the last thing I'm going to say to you is, people are asking me, do driving for dollars waste time? Okay? The answer is yes and no. If you're in a city where it's a small town, all right, and let's say you're over here somewhere, outside over here, right, and there's no deals being done. Now, this is the Tampa, St. Pete area. If you're over here, no deals are being done, you can drive all day long. There's only like 10 deals being done per month. You're wasting time. If you're over here and you're driving for dollars where there's like 500 deals being done a month, you're gonna run into something. But software is always better. But so the answer is yes, you're wasting time if you're over here. You're not getting deals done because there's no deals to be done. And you're doing great. The answer is no. You're not wasting time if you're in somewhere like this. So it's a yes and no. Follow the right people, because there's other guys that do what I do that teach it right. All right, will never lead you wrong, because if they're legitimate and they're honest, like I am with you, I don't want you to waste money or time. We have over 500 students. A lot of them are on the free side. I do free mentorship all the time, guys. And I always tell people, I'm not in this just to make a quick buck. I want to see lives changed. That's why I do it. All right? You can do it. You can. You got to continue to believe in yourself, push yourself, drive, attack. I keep saying that word. And I'll see you at the top. I know you can do this. Just focus and continue to put together your plan of action. God bless you. Bye-bye.